are, what was it, 55%, 60% of your grade. I can go there here in just a little bit to verify that, but this is a huge part of your grade. And it's going to cover chapters 1 and 2, 11 and 12. Now, 11, you're just going 11, 2 and 11, you'll just have finished. 1 and 2 you did a couple weeks ago, right? So hopefully some of this is fresh in your minds, but you'll want to go back to some of those summary sheets, the cheat sheets or whatever they call them in the textbook, that give you an overview of everything that was gone over in that chapter, and make sure you can work through some of those problems. And probably the simplest way of working through those problems is going to those support videos and just working through those videos and answering the questions, refreshing yourself on the certain topics or problems that you'll have to work through. Okay. But this is definitely an important thing. You want to make sure that your Proctorio is working. And I'm dead serious about this. I know most of you understand this by now, but when you ask me for an extension, I'm not giving it unless there is truly an extraordinary event in your life that is absolutely unmitigatable, right? That means that if you know, for example, if you have power outages or internet outages, do not wait until Wednesday to take this class. Because if you wait till Wednesday in the class, take the exam. If you wait till Wednesday and you get a power outage, I'm not extending the deadline, right? You need to take it on Monday or Saturday or someday before then so that you can mitigate that risk. It's a known risk. You need to manage it. And so please don't come to me at 10 o'clock my time texting me saying that, your power went out and therefore you can't do the exam, because that doesn't work. That said, there's plenty of things to do that you can use to prep for that. I will post a guide that I'll walk through. In fact, I have it right here. I'll show you real quick where that's at. Forgot about this. Let's go. There we are. Let me find it. Idaho Accounting 201 support materials and their exam reviews. So I will provide the document that I'm going to pull over here in just a second. I'm going to provide this document. Here we go. This document is called an exam review, right? It has all exams 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here. Although I think they dropped one of these. But exam 1 goes over 1, 2, 11, and 12, right? And so it'll go through the types of questions that or concepts you'll need to understand in each of the chapters. Okay. 1, 2, 11, and 12. Okay. And what will be tested on those exams. So that will help you kind of focus in on some of the things that you need to know. And I'll put that in the announcement that I provide today. I'll also provide this other thing, which, seems kind of straightforward, but it's just a reminder. It's like a checklist of sorts on exam prep. Whether it's study, rest, eat, get comfortable, and pray, right? Make sure you're prepared for your exam. Read the questions. Make sure you pick out the irrelevant information or the relevant information. Some of it will be detractors. And in fact, I know on one, there was a question from a student here recently about they got on the financial analysis thing, some things wrong because they put in a point, let's say 3 instead of 30%. So you got to make sure that some of these little nuances of the exam are understood and you fill it in. And so you'll want to make sure you read the question, understand exactly what's required, and work it out in Excel or a whiteboard or something that helps you actually visualize and not just work it out in your head. Use your T accounts or journal entries, double check your work, review the answers, note the ones that are incorrect, choose the answer that matches exactly. And if it doesn't match exactly to the answer that you worked out, then you need to go back and look at your work. And I would even double check your work sometimes if for some reason there might be 2 answers that could be correct depending on how you worked it out. It's a little tricky sometimes, but they're not really correct. One just happens to be incorrect, but it is a way that could have been worked out, and the other one is correct in the way it should have been worked out. Remember that 2 of the 4 are absolutely incorrect, and this is where it gets to the other 2 of the 4. If you have a multiple choice answer, 1 is going to be correct and one's going to look correct, and so you just have to be careful about how you work through those. And then let's see, if you're taking too much, this is the other thing, if you're taking too much time on one question, move on, because effectively you get frustrated if you're not being able to work through it in a timely manner. And it's better to get the rest of the questions done, build up some confidence, get to the end of the exam, and come back to the ones that you're struggling with and work through those. Because in reality, in many cases, answers to those problems might come later, almost like life, you know. Answers to our problems don't always come when we want them to. They come later in life, and then in retrospect we say, I understand now, and then we can move forward with that understanding. So yeah, just a couple of things to review. Of course, I just verbalized it, but you might just want to look through this and just double check that you're ready to go. So that's the exam. Okay. And for sure, on the proctorial side, if you ever get a question right here, if it prompts you for an access code, your proctorial extension is likely not installed right or needs to be reinstalled. If that happens and it doesn't work, then you clear your cache, restart Chrome, clear your cache, restart the computer, restart Chrome, go through those steps. And if for some reason you still you don't have access, then you need to contact proctorial support or the BYUI testing center. Hence, once again, the reason why not to wait till Wednesday to take the exam, because if you're waiting until Wednesday at night and you're trying to get a hold of BYU testing, they will be closed. Now, of course, I'm talking in terms of mountain time, but whatever these times happen to be, if you want to make sure you take it on Saturday, Monday, or Tuesday, I always skip Sunday because I'm just assuming that you're trying to rest from everything as I do. But take it Saturday, Monday, or Tuesday. If for some reason you run into problems, then you always have Monday. If you tried it on Saturday, you have Monday to contact them to resolve the problem. You have Tuesday to contact them to resolve the problem. But if you try on Wednesday evening to contact folks to resolve the problem, you may not get through it in time in order to finish out the exam or even to start it. So just being as clear as possible as I can, 10 days ahead of the exam, to make sure that you're prepped for this. Because it's, for me, I've taken lots of exams, lots of certification exams. You know, I can set up a test and things could happen and I don't show up, then I fail the exam, right? I failed my opportunity to pass that exam. And this is no different than that. So you need to take me seriously, because I don't like saying no, but in this case I will.